I'm a huge fan of systems over goals. We learned that from Scott Adams, and we also learned it from who's the guy that does Atomic Habits. He's
the Atomic Habits guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
He referenced Scott's concept, and he took it and formulated it a little. I wouldn't say better, just formulated it a little bit more. But I'm just a huge believer in it, and systems power everything I do. And I talk to a lot of people. I take a lot of strategy calls. I coach people. I talk to people in our mastermind, all of stuff. And and I'm always preaching systems. And lately, and I mentioned this to you before the show, the one thing that would allow people even to start creating systems often is to get an assistant. And I want to talk about that a little bit.
Oh, this makes sense to me. Say what you're going to say. I don't want to. I don't want to steal your thunder here, but
no.
I get where you're going.
You've been stealing it for 12 years, Dave. It doesn't matter.
I know. By the way, we did not say this on Friday, but in between our 2 episodes last week, something very important happened, and that is we passed our 11th anniversary on Thursday the 19th.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations!
Happy anniversary to us. Congrats! Yeah.
Congrats.
To us, to each other, but to everybody listening.
And our listeners, too.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And now I can say we're in our 12th year of recording.
We are in our 12th year. That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But happy anniversry, man. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I've loved it. I still love it. I love talking about it, and I've learned so much. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But an assistant, and the thing that I find is when I mention that, often I hear, well, what would they do?
Yes, right.
And so then we have to back up and go, okay, let's break this down and decide, let me explain all the things, everything we just talked about that are most of the things that we had just gone over and talked about are like barriers or log jams. Let's have your assistant do it. Whether it's, I can't get through my mail. I have trouble with Facebook ads. I had one guy, the super smart guy, but he's like, man, I just can't get out of the warehouse. I'm always dealing with problems out there. Like, I'm dealing with the shipping. I'm dealing with the freight carriers. They're late. They're this, they're that. I mean, so it's like, okay, that's the first thing your assistant is going to do. He's like, well, they're not going to know how. I go, you're going to teach them how to do it, right? When I hired an assistant after I was about 6 months into this content business that I started.
Okay.
The first thing I did because she's like, well, what do we need to do? I said, well, I'm trying to build a content business. I don't really know how to do it. So I bought a course for her. This guy, Justin Welsh, he created a course called Content OS. It's $100. Awesome. Just breaks down the whole concept of what it is to build a content business. And I didn't read it. I gave it to her.
Right.
And I said, okay, here, now you're going to help me do this. And so it was great. And, but often the biggest barrier is trying to piece together how this person could help you and how you could give up the things that are driving you crazy, right?
That's always the issue, right? It's like, well, I could hire somebody, but what am I going to have them do? How am I going to have them do
how
it?
And what? Yes. Yeah. And it comes back to, years ago we had a guy on that talked about once you get somebody that can do your job 75% or 80%, you got to
He had that 80-20 rule. Which was if somebody can do your job 80% as well as you hand it off to them so that you can do that. His whole thing was it was the 80-20 rule, but it wasn't 80% and 20%. It was you want to hire somebody that can do that. Once you find somebody that can do a job 80% as well as you, hire them so that they can do the $20 an hour work. That's where the 20 comes in, and you can do the $200 or $2,000 an hour work and actually push the business forward.
And
right?
That's your assistant. And
that's your assistant, right?
Yeah, and even like, we do our Friday AI show. We talk about lots of different automations and AI that can help you, like with your email and different thing else. But if you are not comfortable with that, having your assistant in the email chain is huge, right? To understand and you getting them involved and then telling them, I want you to find out what you can do, right? You come back at your weekly meeting, coming up and saying, okay, great. You've been, shadowing me either digitally or in person.
Right.
And you've listened and we're creating a system. I almost said your goal. We're creating a system here to free up time.
Yes.
And have, so I can focus on the most productive use of my time, whatever that may be. If you're a content creator, it's creating content. If you're the CEO, it's making decisions that, this all and everything in between. So giving that to them and putting them in charge of it is a way to unburden yourself.